You know the drill. You scroll through social media and you see it. Private jets, these crazy exclusive parties, a life that just seems like one big luxury vacation. But you have to wonder, what's it really like behind the camera? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're diving into a super candid chat between two millionaire best friends to find out what actually matters when you supposedly have everything.
So right out of the gate, we get dropped into a world that is, let's be honest, completely insane to most of us. Just picture this. One of the friends is so used to this lifestyle that when he finally flies commercial into Heathrow for the first time, he is genuinely lost. He turns to his buddy and is like, "Wait, where are we? It doesn't look like this." His only memory of London was a private terminal. Just wild.
And it just keeps getting more absurd. So while he's still on the jet, an immigration officer comes on board to check his passport and asks how long he's staying. His response? Depends if I get a job. I mean, that's a joke you can only really make when you've just touched down on a private plane, right? It just paints this picture of a totally carefree, almost surreal way of life.
So yeah, this is the image that's sold to us, you know? The Monaco Grand Prix after parties, the fancy art shows, this endless parade of glamorous events. But here's the question. Is that where they actually find any real joy? The answer, it might not be what you think.
And there it is, boom. A direct shot at everything we think we know. The guy who's actually living this life is telling us point blank that the fantasy we see online is just that. It's a fantasy. Those super exclusive parties, turns out they're not that fun.
I mean, look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the expectation, all these high-status events we see and think, wow, that must be a life. And on the other side, you've got the cold, hard reality from someone on the inside. Trust me, no one is having fun. It's more of a performance than a party.
In fact, they've gotten to a place where they go out of their way to avoid these huge impersonal things. So if they're skipping the events that are all about being seen, where are they actually finding their happiness?
This is what they're actually into. Not the stuff that's designed to look good on Instagram, but real experiences with real friends. Things like taking a tight-knit group to a random country, just picking a spot on the map like Zimbabwe or Cape Town. The value isn't about how exclusive it is. It's about the adventure and the connection with the people they truly care about.
And okay, this gets to the absolute heart of it, right? If all the flashy symbols of wealth, the parties, the status, are basically empty, then what's the real currency in their world? The whole conversation shifts from the superficial stuff to a search for something real.
And here's the answer. It's friendship. It's this moment where one of them is just sitting there looking at this incredible view and he thinks to himself, I need to really soak this in. Not just for me, but for my friend, because I see how hard he worked to make this happen. That's not about money. It's about pure empathy and gratitude for his friend.
Yeah, that kind of bond is obviously worth more than any VIP ticket. But their whole perspective on life, on money, and on what friendship means was about to get tested by one single, absolutely terrifying event that put everything in focus.
There's really no gentle way to put this. It's the raw, shocking truth of what happened. They had a near-death experience, a moment that just forces you to stare your own mortality right in the face. And while they can kind of laugh about it now, they both admit the terrifying reality of it. They shouldn't have survived.
And when you strip it all away, it just boils down to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea. They got a second chance. An experience like that just cuts through all the noise and makes you see what's actually important.
So when you get a wake-up call that massive, what are the moments that truly stand out as the happiest? It's not going to be the expensive watches or the sports cars. It's something way, way simpler.
Okay, get this. One of his happiest moments of the entire year was watching his best friend, a 27-year-old man, see snow for the very first time in his life. He said it was just this moment of pure, simple joy, watching his friend just rolling around in it, making snow angels, acting like a little kid.
And here's another highlight that says it all. It was his birthday, and you'd expect some huge blowout party, right? Nope. The best memory came from a trip that was completely spontaneous and unexpected.
And I think this is my favorite part of the whole story. So it's his birthday, he's hungover, and there are literally 15 models just hanging out at his house. I mean, that's the cliche millionaire dream, isn't it? But he wasn't feeling it. He gets his friends together and is basically like, who cares about the models? We're going to see some alpacas. And that trip to an alpaca farm, that was the highlight of his birthday.
And after telling that whole alpaca story, this is how he sums it all up. It's just the perfect conclusion.
After all the jets, all the parties, all the luxury, he looks at his life and says, I'm a simple man, bro. The real joy comes from the simple stuff.
So that kind of leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? We spend so much time and energy chasing this image of wealth that we see online. But what if the whole definition of a rich life has been misunderstood? What if it has less to do with private jets and a whole lot more to do with alpacas?